with the human, right? So with the human, the machine will answer the few of the questions. Okay. So before chatbot, there is a one guy. So the basically one person is sitting in front of the system, and he can chat, and he will resolve the user issues based on some answers for the queries, right? But now chatbots came into the picture. Chatbots is like so the system can help. Okay, so whatever the common questions, but here today we're going to see about the beyond that in the sense not only giving the information, the chatbot, so doing something else also, so some other work also. Okay, it's not just go and get the database the corresponding answer for the query and giving into the system. Not only that, it is doing some work and giving back the information. So let us see. So before that, I want to go through the a small use case. Basically, see, suppose for example, a person is there. A person. Suppose for example, let us take a okay. We name it as like a. Okay, so what is going on existing? Suppose for example, one person is there. One person, so he's a software engineer. He is doing his daily basis work is like a, so he's having the daily basis work. He has a computer and he is doing something like a some day-to-day work. So his name is like a, let's take Kiran. Okay, he's a software engineer, or computer or software. Software engineer, so IT support, IT department. So IT department in the sense. So what is the daily work for this Kiran? So we'll name it as Kiran. So, okay, so this Kiran, what is the daily basis work is like a, so he will get the requests. Okay, so what type of requests he will get? Yeah. Yes, someone is speaking.
Sudheer, sir?
Yeah.
The screen is not visible.
Really? What happened? One second. It's a full screen. Screen one is a desktop.
Yeah, have you shared it as a desktop, sir?
Yeah, desktop.
Yeah, now okay.
Now it's visible, sir. If you are sharing it as a desktop,
what about now?
only
So
whenever
now you are
seeing
the presentation now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, every window is visible now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so he is getting this kind of request. Suppose for example, let's imagine. So what we the use case is like, we have a Kiran, he is a software engineer working in the IT department, and his day-to-day work is like he is getting daily lot of mails. What type of mails he is getting? He is getting this kind of mails, different type of persons. That means throughout the organizations, many people are requesting for change the software their password. Okay, so maybe he is getting from the managers, he is getting from the employees, this kind of mails. So what is the purpose? Once he went to the office, so he opened the mailbox, he will get lot of mails like this kind of mails. What he has to do, this kind of mails, he will take this mail ID. Okay, he will take this mail ID and he is just simply open a legacy software system. This is like a employee password reset. This will access only on that system only. Just imagine. Okay, so he will open this software, and this is a legacy employee password reset software. He will paste the email ID here and click on the reset. So if it is saying the user is not found, what he is saying, his reply to that person, this user is not found. Okay, suppose for example this suppose Suresh @gmail.com. So if user is existed into your organization, then it will give a unique password. Okay, what he is doing, he is just taking this password and reply back to the person. Got it? Reply back to the person. This is your new password. New password. Let's take this example. Okay, this is a new password. So they will use the new password for that particular portal, something like that. Okay. Do you all understand? So what is the existing issue? So this person has to open this and paste the email ID and click on the reset. It may say user is not found or a new password. He has to reply back to that person. This is a new password for that. Okay, so what we can do, we can automate those things and all. So now once we automate, let's see how can we automate by using the chatbot. Okay, let's see how can we automate by using the chatbot. Before that, let's see. So the chatbot, UiPath Chatbot, so it is like a structure. So we have to configure three things. One is a Google Dialogflow, where we are creating the chatbot kind of that means intentional intents, right, these things and all. And UiPath process, which will interact with the application, legacy application, and give the password back. And we will connect the UiPath chatbot.uipath.com. That is a mapping these both two. Okay, got it? So let us try to do the first one is like creating a process, UiPath process for the legacy application. So let's go to the UiPath Studio. I think you are familiar with the UiPath Studio, right? Last few classes, maybe you've gone through the what is the process, these things and all in the UiPath. Let's create one process like a employee password reset process, something like that. Okay, so we can just simply use the description, click on that. So basically it will open the main.xml. We were just working on this part, the second part. Okay, this part, UiPath process, creating the UiPath process. And once you open the UiPath Studio, initially it will open the main.xml, main workflow. Okay, so we will create arguments, not variables. We will create arguments. Arguments is like a communicating between the to the outside, right? So for this, so what we required, first of all, what we required to operate this software, open the application. Opening the application, we have that person is doing, Kiran is doing like opening the application and typing the password. So we required an input variable called email ID, right? And if you click on the reset, it will generate a new password. That is the output. You are giving the output to the same person. So this process is a reusable thing. So it will take the input as the email. Just go to the arguments and click on the new in underscore email is a input direction, and that is a string type. Out underscore new password is a output direction. Just change to the output direction. So basically this whole process what we are building, this will take a input as a email as a input, and it will feed this email into the legacy system and click on the reset and take the output as a new password. Okay, this is the arguments, not the variables. So what is the first thing we have to do? First we open the application, right? Open the application. So for each and every action done by the user is called activity. So for each and every action we have a corresponding activity into the UiPath activities panel. You can just go to the activities panel. A lot of activities are available. First we are opening the application. That's why type the open application. So is there any activities there to open the application? Yes, we have. Okay, just drag and drop the open application, and you have to specify which application you want to open. Okay, click on the indicate window and it will allow you to select which window you want to open. Okay, so I'm just selecting this window, and then it automatically predicts all the paths. See here, what is the path of this exe and the selector, everything it will take automatically. Okay, got it? And now once you open, what is the next step? You have to type the email IDs. What the types you have to type into, just drag and drop the type into, indicate on the screen, select the type into. Okay, next thing is like you have to what you type. The type into is an activity. You have to specify what to type, where to type. Got it? What to type and where to type. So what to type? You have to type this email ID. It is coming from outside. Just copy this one, paste here. Okay, once you type the email ID, suppose for example hari@gmail.com, then you have to click on the reset, right? This reset is a click activity. So just drag the click activity here, click activity, and indicate on the screen, select this reset. Okay, so once you click on the do the same activity, perform the same activity, and once you click on the resets, it will just open the message box. This message box contains anything. It may contain the user not found or the a new password, right? So as the Harish is not found, basically Hari is not found in the organization, so it's saying the user not found. What we have to get? We have to get that information. To get the information from the screen, you have an activity called get text activity. You can get text activity to get the any text from the surface of the UI. Get text activity, indicate on the screen, select this one. Okay. So make sure that the selector is proper or not. So if the selector contains this value, it may change tomorrow, right? So this is a valid now. It won't valid if it is changing the value. Suppose for example, let's see Sri Hari. Click on here. This is your message box. Try to validate. It is not validating because the text is changing. So that you should not take these kind of things. So because it is the values which will change automatically every time. So you should not consider those type of properties. Okay. Let's open this UI Explorer. Just investigate on that properties. Is there any property which will not change even the value changes? Indicate on the screen. Select this one. You should not take the name because name is changing. Take this one. Yeah, it might not change. Here also do not take this one. It may change. Take this kind of thing. Okay. Validate and highlight. Check it is highlighting properly. And now recheck again. Suppose only Hari, just type Hari and reset. Try to validate again. It's validating perfectly even though value is changing, right? This is our proper selector. Okay. Click on the save and save. So this will give the output as a new password. The new password, right? Copy this one. So paste here the output of the get password. Okay. Once you get the password again, you have to click on the OK because you have to clean the environment. Once your work is done, you have to clean the environment. Click on the OK. That means click on the OK and close the window. So basically this is a application. So open the application, right? You have another activity called close window. Indicate on the screen. Select the window which you want to close. Just select. It automatically closes. Open the application and close the application. That's it. We're done. We're done with our work. So let us test whether it is working fine or not. Okay. In the email ID, you can just specify the default value. Suppose sharath@abc.com. Okay, and this will come output, right? So output I can just simply use the message box. We'll delete the message box later. Here we can specify the new password is concatenated with the out argument. That's it. Let's close the application. Let's try to run your project. So just test whether it is working fine or not. It will open the application, type the password, email ID, click on the reset, click OK, close the application. See, it is closed the application also. It is out argument has a value. Our workflow is working fine. What is the next step? Let me remove this message box and remove this default value also. Okay, so almost this one is done. This our process is done, but we have to publish this process. I think you already well known about this connecting to the orchestrator, right? Platform.uipath.com. So if you just type the platform.uipath.com, it will open the orchestrator, and we have to publish our process, UiPath process, to the orchestrator. So before that, so make sure that your robot is connected. Robot is connected to the. You have something like a robot connections. Maybe a robot is connected to the orchestrator. Hope you all know about this connection. So if you connect already, then it is it's showing, so you can publish easily to the easily from process to the orchestrator. So let's go to the orchestrator process. Okay, so click on this. You have to publish this process from the studio. Click on the publish, and okay, so click on the, so if you want to give the your release notes, like so this is like so employee password reset. What's about employee password reset for chatbot? Okay. Click on the publish. It will publish this package into the orchestrator. This is a published version and the name of the package. What is the name of the package? Employee password resets. The next thing is that we have to create a process for that. Go to the automations, and click on the plus button here. Open the package, type employee password reset. See here. So once you publish, this package is coming here. Okay, so select the environment and click on the create. So we created the process perfectly. So the first step is done. The first step is creating the process, and this connections. This is creating the UiPath process is done. The next step is like creating the prepare the chatbot from the Google Dialogflow. Okay, go to the Google here. So type the dialogflow.cloud.google.com, dialogflow.cloud.google.com. Just deleting this one existing one, so make sure that's clean the environment. Okay, so here once you open the dialog, so we're working on this preparing the chatbot. The first step is done. What is the first step? Creating the UiPath process. What is the next step? Creating a chatbot by using the Google Dialogflow. So you have to open the dialogflow.cloud.google.com and log in with your email ID, your Gmail ID, and the next thing is like so you have to prepare like this. So what is that? Preparing the like this. First, these are all the steps. First, we have to create an agent. What is your agent name? Okay, you have to create an agent, your bot name, and next is creating the intent. Intent means what is the intent? Intent means what is the intention of the user. So what type of so while we are developing the bot, we have to think like we have to sit into the user side and think what type of questions they may ask. For that, what type of response we have to give. Do you understand? Okay, what we have to think. So what type of questions? So each question. So here, intent is like I say, intent is the intention of the user. The conversation between the single conversation between the user and the robot, chatbot. Got it? So if they say hello, what we have to give the information. If you say anything like so, if they may ask anything, right? So here is when I joined. So in our case, yeah, they may in our case they can ask like change my password, or I forgot my password. So please reset my password, right? There is a lot of questions they may ask. The commonality. Okay. So for all the questions, so what we have to respond. Okay. So we'll ask the user an email ID. Okay. Intent means this is a see here you are seeing in the screen. There's a 3 intents. Okay. So intent is the intention of the user we have to find. So first let's go to the create agents. How can we create the agent? Go to the dialogflow.cloud.google.com, log into your Gmail ID with this, and simply click on the create agent. See here, create agent. So give the create agent like a employee PR, password reset, okay, employee PR. Click on create. So while creating, so if you want to change the language, if you want to change the time zones, you can just change the time zones also. But for now, I'm just go with the default time zone and default language. Okay. The first thing is like I just go and click on the create agent and type the information. So what type of, what is your agent name, and simply click on the create. It's creating the agent. Okay. So what is the next step? So create agent is done. What is the next step? It's a very simple viewers. It's a very simple. We created the agent. We have to create the intents. Basically, intent means the intention of the user, the conversations. Let's go to the intent here. By default, there is a two intents are there. One is a welcome intent and fallback intent. So click on the welcome intent. So in the intents, there is a training phases. See here, training phases are there. If user type any of these kind of things, so it's a training phases. So not only these, so they may type corresponding to this one. Okay, greetings, hi, hey. Okay, so hey there, like this. Okay, they may ask like this. So this is the training phases. If they ask these kind of questions, what is the response we have to give? So this is the responses. See here, this is the responses. Okay, I'm just deleting all the responses. We'll just simply give a proper response for our bot. Okay, so what is the response here? Hello. Okay. Password reset bot factory, something like this, bot factory. Okay, anything. So if they say hi, what response you want to give to the user? That's what here the response is. Okay, so once this is the response, click on the save. Once you save, here in the right hand side, you can just try it now, right? So there is a try it now. You can just try whatever you are doing. So you can just try like a hello. Okay, so if you just type the hello, user is type the hello, it is responding the hello, welcome to. So welcome to KCG password reset. Okay, so you can just like just simply hi. Okay, if you just type hi, so it is giving a proper response. Okay, so anything like so you can type it. So we just save. This is the welcome intent is saved. So next thing is we have to think what type of questions they may ask, right? So and also you can just in the hi also this I can help to reset your password. That is a capability. Okay, basically once they click on the hi or just type hi, you can message like so I can research, so or you can just simply say how can I help? How can I help you? Okay, so it is a robot is asking, so how can you help? Hello, it is asking hello, welcome to the KCG password reset bot factory. Okay, and how can I help you? Intent, welcome intent we modified, and we need another intent, another intention of the user. What is the next intention of the user to the chatbot? Next, the user may ask, I want to change password, or please reset my password. These kind of questions, right? So create another intent, click on the create intent, and this is like a question. Okay, password reset question. Here you have training phases. Click on the add training phase. Add the training phase like a please change how differently the people ask this kind of question, right? So those kind of different kind of training phases you have to add here. Okay, please change my password. Okay, or they may ask like so change my password. Okay, I want want to change my password. Password, simply they will ask password reset. Change, simply they will ask change password. How can I change my password? Okay. Please reset my password. Reset password. Maybe they won't give the space. Change password. There is a different type of training phases. Later also you can change. Okay. These are training phases. If they ask this kind of questions related to this kind of questions, what is the response you want to give? So go to the responses session and click on the response. So we have to ask the user, if they ask this kind of questions, what is the next step we have to ask? If possible, is there any chat window is there? Chat window, okay, it's not available. Okay, so what type of answers, if they ask these kind of questions, what is the next query we have to ask? We have to ask, please provide your email ID. Okay, please provide your email ID. That is your answer for that, this type of training phases. Okay, click on the save and test your chatbot here. Again, hi, and so just type the hi here. Okay, so here it is a hi came, delete and save again. Here hi is asking that this is a response, and please change my password. If I type that please change my password, it is asking the response like a please provide your email ID. If I just reset my password, if I just reset my password, is a please provide the so how can I change password? See, different type of things they may ask the same question. Each people will query in different English, differently, right? So we have to ask the user. Once you ask the users,
What? Sudheer sir, I have one question here. Suppose the intent is not in the training phrases, the chatbots will throw error information.
Let's type. That's a good question. So, okay, I want to go to Chennai. Okay, that is the training phase is not there. Okay, so what it is saying? What was that? Okay, so this is your question, right? Oh, who asked?
How that displays this word sentence?
This Dialogflow itself, it has a built-in mechanism. This kind of things. Okay, Dialogflow itself. Okay, so if I just simply random things, if I type random things, say that so one more time. Okay, so this is not understanding. Okay, the Dialogflow itself already it has that kind of training inbuilt. It is coming with.
Okay.
Okay, so what is your name? This kind of queries. So sorry. So what was that? So these kind of things. So if you just don't know this, got it? Is it clear? Am I answered your question?
Yeah, clear. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So how many intents we have? One is a welcome intent, another one is we change the welcome intent, another one is a password reset in event question. Okay, this is the second thing. So once we ask the user is asked what is the I want to change the password. What we asked, please provide your email ID. Okay, once we ask the please provide email ID, what is the next intention of the user? User provides the email ID, right? We have to take that email ID. Let's go and create another intent. So taking the email ID. Okay, get email ID, that is the intent name, and training phase is like a, so they may how differently they will provide email ID. That is our intent. Okay, this training phase. Okay, they may provide like a, so my email ID is suresh@gmail.com. Okay, got it. So in this suresh@gmail.com, in the whole text, so what is the value we need? This value, right? This value. What is the value you need? So those values you can just make it as a entity. See here. So once you select this one, it is automatically show what data type it is, whether it's an integer or date they are asking, right? So is there any item name? So this is like a, in this case, it is an email ID. Okay, email. Just type the email. Sys.email. This is a entity. They may ask, my email ID is a that particular number. Okay, this Suresh is not, instead of this email ID place, it may come anything, right? So simply they can say like a kiran@gmail.com, right? In this, so what is the entity? The whole thing. They may ask like a email ID colon. They may not give the same email ID, but just imagine, say the same type, right? The same type, email type. Okay, next is like a, so we have to think how differently people ask. Okay, people give the answer. They may ask like a my email address, something. Some people they may type like my email address is, okay, so upendra@abc.com. So in this abc.com, this up to here is a email. Select and click enter. Next one is like a, so here is my email ID. Okay, so email ID, here is my email ID, and satya@gmail.com. Okay, they may type like this. Simply they can type like a email is, or and simply like a, so srikanth@gmail.com is my email address, something like that. So they can they may ask like this also. Okay, so whatever the values which we need, those things we are just making the entity. Okay, so this information we required. Why this information is required? So we have to pass that information to our UiPath process as an input. Then only the robot can work, right? So you have to this value we need. So however they are asking this value we need. They may ask anything, right? Our training phases are completed. You can add any number of training phases. Okay, so later also.
So I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
The question is, how many training phases we can give like that?
You can add any number. So suppose tomorrow you got the new question. So new person came with the new query which you were not expected before, but you can just add those kind of questions also.
Okay, and where these training phrases will be stored in the system?
In the Dialogflow. Or Google Dialogflow.
Dialog box only,
yeah.
Not in a database.
Not in the behind there is a database, but actually not in our system actually. Okay, it's in the cloud. So how our Gmail ID, Gmail's attachments are stored? It's a Gmail cloud, right? The same way Google Dialogflow.
Fine, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so once we add the training phase, what is the next step? So response. Before going to the response, here there is another section called actions and parameters. Here there is a parameters. We added this parameter, right? That's why it is added the new parameter here. So whatever the email ID, sys.email ID is added. So this parameter, so it should be matched with our variable, this argument. Okay, I'm just copying this argument. You can just reuse the same thing, but here our agenda is like so integrating the robot bot, UiPath bot, which can do the manual work to automation, and the chatbot combining, right? So we're using this, replacing this one. Okay, so this is a variable which we are going to use further. This variable we can use in the response session. Okay, so whatever the email ID, not only this emails, so whatever the new email ID they gave, so we can use this variable as a response. click on the required field, and if they are not providing as per our training phase, suppose our training phase is not matching, so if they provide anything differently, so then we can just click the default prompt. So what you have to show to the, so please provide so valid email address. Okay, so if they are not if the question which is given by the user is not satisfied this training phases, then it will ask a default prompt. Okay, then so our response session, the response session is you can use this mail ID, this parameter name. So you can just simply like a, so your so your password is password reset successfully for the email ID. Okay, for the email ID, just type the dollar symbol. Okay, type the dollar symbol. It will give the parameters which you have earlier, right? The parameter it is showing. So you have to show that. So password reset successfully for the email ID some xyz@abc.com, and the new password is you can just simply use the colon, and you can just simply use the in the curly braces. See here, the curly braces. In the curly braces, basically there is a less than or greater than. In between these, you have to specify the output parameter, which is which we created in our UiPath argument. Okay, copy this one. This is what we are going to show there, right? This is what we are going to show there. And this is if you want to input parameters from the entities, you can just parameters like this, and the values which is coming from the UiPath process, those things you have to keep into the less than and greater than. That is a tag kind of thing. Okay. Our get email entities are ready. Click on the save and simply test here itself our chatbot. So just hello, just type the hello. Oh, not here. Okay, here the right hand side, hello, and it is saying this welcome. So reset my password. So it is asking provide your email ID. I'm just providing the email ID which is not matching this one. Suppose for example Sudheer.Nimmagadda so usd.com, something like that. So here it is saying so password resetted successfully for the email ID. The same email ID which I provided came here. Got it? You understand? So because we use the parameter that is not matched to this one. Okay. So and the new password is this. This is the argument which is not yet come because we are not connected both the things robot and this Dialogflow. Okay. So now the second step is done. Second step means this is a separately we completed just now. This is already completed. Got it? What is the next step? Next step is a connecting Google Dialog to the chatbot.uipath.com, connecting process to the chatbot.com. Okay. So this is like a connecting. Let's say connecting like a. So how can we connect? We created the process separately. We created the chatbot in the Dialogflow separately, and we tested here. The chatbot is working fine with the actual as per expected thing. Okay, it is giving. So now we have to connect these things and all. Okay, connect these things and all means you have to open this URL chatbot.uipath.com. Okay, so you're opening the chatbot.uipath.com. And once you open the chatbot.uipath.com, it will ask you to log in. So I already logged it with my account. So if they ask, so you just log in with your Gmail account. Okay, you can just log in with your Gmail account like this. So this is the chatbot.uipath.com. and click on the connect. So we don't have any connections, so all the connections it will show here. Right now it is a blank, we don't have any connections. We just create a first connection by just simply clicking the connect button and give your name, the name of the connection. Okay, name of the connection like a employee password reset chatbot. Okay, so this is a connection name, employee password reset chatbot. Any name you can give. Click on the save. Once you click on the save, it will create, it will show, it will redirect you to this page. This has a 3 sessions. See here, it's a very simple. Please listen carefully. It's a very simple, the connection between the Dialogflow and orchestrators. One is a build, map, launch. In the build, you have 2 things. You have to connect this. This is like a, so let's try. First thing is like a Dialogflow to this chatbot. Okay, Dialogflow to chatbot. So click on the connect Dialogflow, and it is asking some information to fill this information, the project ID, service name, and private key. Okay, so this is asking this information. So where we will get this information? Go to the Dialogflow, and basically they will provide the how to go to the each and every step for this. See here, so all the things it is changing. So because they will just guide you where to get this information and all. Let's go to the Dialogflow and click on the settings. See here, the settings. Click OK. In the dialog, we are in the Dialogflow, and we just click on the settings gear icon. Okay, so once you click on the settings, you will see this project ID for the employee PR. What is our agent name? Employee PR password reset. Okay, the project ID is like this is a project ID. Just select this project ID, copy this project ID here from the Dialogflow, go to your chatbot.uipath.com, paste here. Okay, so where we will get the service account? The service account, there is some settings, so you have to do. So click on this project ID. First of all, click on this project ID. Once you click on this project ID, it will redirect you to the console.cloud.google.com. So where we can create a service account. We have to create a service account for our project, our agent. Okay, what is our agent name? Employee PR. Okay, so now once it is opened this console.cloud.google.com, you can just simply go to the APIs and services, click on the dashboard or credentials. Okay, credentials, click on the credentials, APIs and services. Mouse over, click on the credentials. Once you open the credentials, here you have to create a service for that service account. Okay, because the next step is creating the service account. Got it? And service account, we don't have a service account, any service accounts. We have to create a service account to connect to the other outside of the Dialogflow. Okay, so how can we create a service account? Make sure that you selected it's automatically selected the same project name, employee PR, and so click on the create here, create credentials. If you click on the create credentials, it will show the drop down list, so where you can just find a service account. Okay, click on the service account and give the service account name, any name you can give. Suppose here I'm just giving the EMP password reset. Okay, pass reset. So this is a service account name, and give the some description like so employee EMP give the some service account description, and this is a service account name. Click on the create. That is the first step. Next step is like so you have to give some service account access to your project. You have to grant some rules. Okay, there is a roles. So you click on the role and type the Dialogflow. Okay, Dialogflow. So if you just type the Dialogflow, you have to add. Keep in mind, you have to add these two roles. So one is the Dialogflow API admin, another one is the Dialogflow API client. Add the Dialogflow admin and click on the add another role. So type the same thing like a Dialogflow client. Okay, so first thing is creating the service account by passing the service name, account name and the description. Next thing is like grant the permissions of the Dialogflow admin, API admin and API client. Click on the continue. The third step is you can just you can skip this third step. So click on the done. So if you want to use, you can just use only the permissions to the particular users. Okay. Now our service account is ready. This is a service account. Just copy the service account. Copy the service account. Go to our chatbot.uipath.com. Paste here. Okay. So project ID is done. Service account is done. Next is a private key. So how can you go get the private key? Okay. Let us click on the edit. It is showing this like this. Click on the service accounts. See here, service accounts. If you click on the service accounts, it will show the service account like this, and the status is enabled. And you can see 3 dots actions, right? 3 dots at the end. Okay. Click on that 3 dots. There is one option called create a key. You have to create a key. And it will ask you to download the JSON format. So JSON format or a P12, just take the JSON format. So I'm just create one folder to store the JSON format. Okay, so in this folder we will just okay, so in this folder we will just keep our JSON file. Okay, so let's go to your Studio Chrome and click on the create. It will ask you to select a local folder where you want to save. Okay, see here you want to save like a JSON key and save. Your JSON file is saved. Okay, JSON file is saved here. You can open the JSON file and the notepad. If you are familiar with the JSON, basically the JSON is a key value pair. See here, key, it's like an object, key, and this is the value, and the comma, again the key and the value, colon, value, and the comma, right, key and value. So you see here private key ID, and the value is this one. Okay, so what we need the private key. See here, private key is a key, and within the double quotes, don't select the double quotes. The value is up to, just select, so up to where it is ended, the last double quotes is ended. Okay, immediate double quotes, I think up to here. Am I correct? Up to here is the value of the private key. The remaining things, there is another key and value. Just copy here and go to your chatbot.uipath.com, paste here. Okay, that's it. You are ready. So if you are not able to see this connect button, just zoom out. Okay, then click on the connect. And once you connect, it will show you your agent name. See here, just check whether your agent name which you created here in the Dialogflow and which it is showing, both are same or not. Okay, both are same, right? Okay, so the Dialogflow agent connected to the chatbot.uipath.com. So that is this part is done. This part is done. Got it? This is connected. What is the next step? The pending step is connecting the UiPath process. Go to that, and the second session is like a orchestrator service. Click on the connect. Make sure that your robot is and process is connected to each other. And okay, so go to here, click on the connect. Okay, and there is some settings like user key, account logical name, tenant logical name, client ID. Where we will get this kind of information? Go to the orchestrator, your UiPath orchestrator. So go back to the automation cloud. So because basically if you just simply use the platform.uipath.com, it will redirect you to the only the a parent page. Like so here you are seeing the services, right? And these are all the things. So you can see. Click on the admin here. Normally you are clicking this one to go to the orchestrator to create the robots, missions, these things, right? So normally you just click on the admin. In the admin there is a tenants. Select the tenants. What is the tenant you have? Expand this tenant, and here you have a orchestrator session. Okay, you can see there is a API axis. That is a cloud. There is some cloud symbol is there, right? That is the API axis. Click on that API axis symbol for the your tenant. It will give a unique values, like so unique values in the sense a user key, account logical name, tenant name, client ID, these things and all it will give. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to copy these values from here to there, the cloud, right, the chatbot. You have a symbol for each and every line. There is a copy symbol. Click on the copy symbol. You copy the user key and paste here. Again, account logical name, right? Go and search the account logical name here. In the same sequence it is there. You copy to the clipboard. Go here, tenant name, copy, paste. Next one is like a client ID. Copy, paste. Okay, so what is the next thing is like a folder. Basically, what is a folder? The folder means, suppose for example, if you go to your tenant, you are publishing some people, they will publish into the processes, creating the processes under different folders. Okay, so what is a folder means? This is a folder, default folder. You can create a multiple folders, and if you open the multiple folders, each folder having the separate things. Okay, so default folder. In the default folder, it's a default folder only. We created the process, right? Just check whether it is a default folder or anything. So this is a default folder. Employee password reset process is a default folder, right? So by default it is a default folder only. Then you just click on the OK. Okay, so click on the connect. So we gave all the information. So again, I'm just recalling. So it's like a user key, account logical name, tenant name, client ID. Click on the connect. Once you click on the connect, it will show your tenant name. UiPath click. You can see here. What is our tenant name? Go back to the cloud. See here. This is the tenant name. UiPath click. The same tenant name it is shown here. Okay. Now these two are connected. This is also connected to the chatbot.uipath.com. Okay, we created separately both the things connected to each other. The next thing is like our chatbot. So suppose for example in the intents we have a lot of intents are there. So welcome intent and get email intent and password reset question, right? So when we have to execute the process, this process, right? So I'm just closing this studio also. Okay, yeah, studio. The process when we have to the get email ID, right? Get email ID or password reset question. This is a password reset question. Click on this one where we used I think this one only, right? For this intent only we need for this get email ID intent only we need to run a process. And once you run the process, it will return an output variable called this one. It will display into our chatbot, right? So go to the chatbot.uipath.com and here our build session is done connected to these two things. Click on the map. Okay, so in this map, so which intent? It will show all the intents which is which we have the intents into the Dialogflow. It will show all the intents, right? All the intents it is showing. So which intent you have to map? It's unmapped by default. Which intent you have to map to the process? You can map to this get email ID intent to the process. Click on the plus button. It will allow you to show all the processes which is under the default folder. So go to the orchestrator. You can simply go here. You can see all the processes which is there into your orchestrator process page. Orchestrator process page. These are all the process names it is showing into this one, right? Got it? These are all the process. What is the process name? Our process name. Employee process password reset process dev. Employee password reset process dev. Select this one, and these are all the input variables and output variables. Click on the map. Simply just click on the map because you use the same type of variable, same name, right? Same variable name you used in the Dialogflow. So that's why we don't need to do anything. So just click on the map. It is a map. Now I think that's it. So we're just done. So we're in the final state. Okay, so this is launching our basically launching our bot. So we're done. This one connecting to the Dialogflow. We're done. So it's time for testing our bot whether it is working fine or not. Okay. let's go close here and go to this launch, and you have a web launch and Slack. So click on the connect web launch. You have to give your chatbot a title name. So what is the chatbot? Is it password bot? Okay, is it password bot? This is the title it will show into your chatbot. And so what is the greetings, welcome greetings? You can, if you want to, once they've opened, so if you want to show something like that, so you can just simply use the, so hello, what can I do for you? So you can just change anything. Okay, so and here you have some link is there, copy HTML embedded code. So what is that HTML code? So not only you can just embed this chatbot into your websites, any website. Okay, if you have already website is there, you can embed that into the website. Suppose for example in our case the Kiran is working, right? So in the Kiran organization you can just simply just imagine you have a normally the company website is there, company portal is there. In that company web portal HTML page, you can embed this code. Okay, click on the embed HTML code and click on the save and close. Okay, once you click on the save and close, so let me simply paste this. This is the embedded code. So if you just embed this code, directly it will allow you to for your chatbot into your own website. Okay, just test our applications. Click on the test. Once you click on the test, see here in the bottom, so you can see there is a chatbot icon. Click on the chatbot. So this is a chatbot name. So whatever the name you gave in the chatbots, this came here and the welcome message initially. Okay, now it is the time to test. That is a test like a hi, it is asking, so it is the first, right? So hello, welcome to the KCG password reset bot factory. How can I help you? I need to change my password. So if I ask us, I need to change my, let me zoom it. I think it's a very small letters. So I think, hope you are seeing bigger font, right? Okay, so once I ask the question, so this is the end user. Just imagine the robot, UiPath robot sitting to the other system, the different system, and the people are accessing from different locations using this chatbot. That's it, right? Okay, so please provide your email ID. I'm just providing my email ID like a, so my email address is bindu@gmail.com. Okay, so click on the send or just press enter. Okay, so once you take, so it's saying the working on it. What is, just observe, it will trigger the UiPath robot. See that. So this process will run, and you can, it is open the application ERP system, and it is taken a new password and it is resetted and get back. See here, you understand? The password reset successfully for that email ID bindu@gmail.com, and the new password is the newly generated password. Okay. Now these two, UiPath Dialogflow, that means Google Dialogflow and UiPath process will connect together using the chatbot.uipath.com. Let's try one more time. Hello. Okay. Reset password. Now we don't need Kiran, right? The employee, then Kiran, we don't need Kiran in the sense it's not like a replace, I mean removing the jobs. So Kiran will concentrate on other value added work, right? So not this type of mundane, repetitive, time consuming tasks. So Kiran is no more doing this kind of repetitive works. Okay, users can directly talk with the chatbots. The chatbot is talking with the UiPath process. The UiPath process is triggering, so opening the ERP system, the legacy system, and resetting the password. Okay, now I'm just using the harinath@gmail.com. Maybe Harinath is not there in the organization. Maybe he left. Just imagine. Okay, he left the organization. Okay, what it is saying? harina@gmail.com, it's like a user not found, it's saying that's a user not found, so password is not reset. Maybe we have to change the basically the text, but yeah. So let's try one more time. Hi, how can I change my password? That is a question. It is asking username Sudheer or okay. It's working on that. It is typing the it is giving the new password, and it is responding back to the password. So that is a thing. And also, so we have a embedded code also, right? Embedded codes. While we are launching, embedded code is also there. So embed the code with the our HTML website, any website. So if you have your own website, you can just embed that code into your website. Suppose, for example, here you can just simply like a something like that, anything. So I'm just keeping normal. So here you can just simply use the code which you copied earlier. Okay, the code which you copied earlier, here you can just paste and save as a. You can embed this code to the any your HTML web pages. Okay, this chart in the desktop. Let's open the desktop here. org.html. organization.html. Okay. See here, where is that org.html? This is org.html. Okay. Open this org.html. You can see at the bottom the same chatbot doing the same kind of work. Okay. You can now we are embedding with your own website, organization website or college website, anything. Okay. And so please reset my password. It's asking the email ID. Bharat@gmail.com. It's working on that. It is triggering the process, and the process will trigger open the legacy employee password reset tool and type the password and revert back to the password to the chatbot. Got it? Password is reset successfully. This is a password, new password. You will understand? I think we're done. We're done with the things. If you have any doubts, you just ask now. Okay. Yeah, we're done with that. Do you have a question?
So I have one question, sir.
Yeah.
This chatbot will give only text as a response.
There is a, you can just you are saying that only text messages or something like a, you can just open the email image, right? Image kind of content, these things. It is there. It is there. If you can deep dive onto the Dialogflow, it is there. That means yes or no questions. Some chatbots you can you may see some chatbots asking this yes or no buttons. Okay, approve or reject buttons. Okay, if you click on the approve, instead of typing, you just in action, right? That's also possible.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to deep dive into this Google Dialogflow. Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Participants, do you have any questions? You can type your questions in chat box, which we have in MS Team.
If we have more time, so So if you want to do one more thing, yeah, we can do. Any more questions? Yeah, I think everything is clear, right? Okay, it seems. Okay, yeah, let's try to do one more use case. So just opening like a students Excel. So the students Excel is there, and std id, student roll number, student id, and the student name and class, basically. So which class, so, and okay, so suppose for example phone number. Okay, and see here, so 111 222. Okay, so let's say some names like Suresh, Ramesh, Girish, Harish, Nitish, okay, Varun, Babu, Gopal. The classes is like, so MCA, MBA, okay, so suppose BBA, BBC, BCom, so BSc, something like a, so MBBS, so something like that. Okay, so the phone numbers like a, okay, something like, I'm just preparing the test data. Something extra. Okay. Yeah. So we have Excel. We just simply people finder. So just create this student finder. Okay. Student finder. So this Excel is available in our location. So let's create a, first of all, what is our case? First thing is like a preparing a process, UiPath process. So one thing is we have to create a UiPath process. And another thing is like a Dialogflow, create an agent. So you can create another agent. So something like a student finder. Student finder is our the name of the agent. So first what we done? So we created the agent. What is the next things? Agent intentions. Okay, so agent intentions is working on that. What we will do, we will just use the if I just use the a number, a student number. Suppose for example here is a student number. It has to give the information of the which class, which department basically. So department, okay, departments, which department he is studying, so what is the name and what is the phone number. Okay, so if you pass the user, so just imagine it is hundreds of records are there. So if the users has to, so the users or managers has to find what is the details of the one student. So instead of open the system and open the Excel, find instead of that, so we will create one chatbot for that. Okay, so user has to give the student name, student ID. Okay, so create a one process. So student finder. Meanwhile, just go to the intent and create an intent like a welcome intent, and in the welcome intent just change the response to the of the welcome intent responses. So you can just change the responses to the welcome to our college, or something like a why it is not removing. Yeah, it's removing. It's a bit slow. Okay. Hello, welcome. That's a simple thing. Okay, hello message. After that, what is the next thing? So create another intent. So user may ask, so the direct one question, user may ask like a suppose for example add the training phases. So they may simply type the get details of something like this, right? Okay, this is the number, automatically it is taken, and who is, right, who is this one, this is automatic taken. So find details of student, okay, provide data of student, there's a number, phone or not phone number, okay, it's automatically predicted. Okay, so next thing is like a give me student data of something like that, 1 to 3. Okay, this 1 to 3 is a number. Yeah, so you can add anyway you can add any number of training phases, and once you add, so it's automatically save this, and what is this? This is a name, right? Get student details. Okay, that is your intent name. Yeah, so once you get this get intent, so this is a name. So before that's what we have to do, we have to create a process. So I'm just creating the process, student finder, and what is an input parameter? Input parameter is a in underscore, no need to type in underscore, but it's a just for understanding. Student std id. Okay, std id is the input, and the information like is out std or std details. Okay, std details, and this is a output parameter. Let me create a the output parameter. Okay, so we will just provide the details of the intents. One second. Hello. మీటింగ్ లో ఉన్నాను. పైన ఉన్నా, మీటింగ్ లో ఉన్నా. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to read the range. So we have to read the entire data, right? Read range, and Excel application scope or workbooks, anything you can just simply find, read range, and so provide your Excel name. Here is Excel students, right? What is the student sheet name? Sheet name is the sheet 1 only, right? So remove this whole range and create a one data different base. So student dt, so this is a student, everything is in the data table, student dt, and you can just use a for each row or something like that. So you can just use different ways. Okay, so I'm just using this way. Student dt, just copy the student dt, and here stop the student dt, and find, it will loop each and every row and use the if condition. Simply find a row of, what is that, row of, you can just simply give the index, that is a 0, or you can just use the column name, row of this one dot toString dot equals of std id. Okay, so where is the std id? Std id is this one, right? Std id. So if these both are equal, what we have to do, we have to assign the value of the student details. Okay, so student data is equal to, so what we have to assign, we can assign like a row of, the next one is a 1 means is a index, this is a 1 is a name, this one next one is a department, right? 1 dot toString. Okay, so first is a name equivalent double quotes plus, and here you can just use a environment dot new line, just try this one, so if it's working fine. Okay, next one is like a department is colon space with a department, row of department, or you can use the index as well as the column, anything you can use, plus, so what is a phone number colon row of which one, so 0 1 2 3, that is the third index. Okay, 3 dot toString. Environment here, one more plus environment, so it's a by default it will come in the new line. So let us try if it's coming in the new line. Okay, we're assigning, and once we find the user, we don't need to continue further, right? So use a break statement into here. So once we found the user is student number, so we don't need to repeat for unnecessarily for the further process, right? So our board is ready. Publish this process. Once you publish, what is the next step? Next step is creating the process in the orchestrator. Go to the orchestrator and create a process for the, select the process which you student data, what is it, student finder, right? Student finder, that is the name of the application. Select this one, create a student finder process. Once we create our process is ready. So in the Dialogflow, in the parameters, what we have to use the same parameter which is the input, right? Which is, I'm just using the same input here, and the response also using the same input. So the details of the user student ID dollar student ID is following. Okay, so here you can just use the curly less than and greater than, and give this number, this output parameter. Okay, and save. Once you save, just test whether it is working fine or not for the space training phases. Hi, I'm just typing the hi, so it is saying the hello, welcome to the KCG, how can I help you, and give me details of 6666. Okay, see here it is this number, we are not giving the same number in the training phase, it is a training phase only. Okay, this is giving the properly. Okay, our process is ready. So what is the next step? Go to the chatbot.uipath.com and create a new connection, student finder. Okay, I'm just closing the studio, this Excel, we don't need this Excel, and we don't need this studio because we're done with this studio and Excel. And what is the next steps? Connecting the Dialogflow. Connect the Dialogflow. What is the project ID? The project ID, just simply click on this settings bar. You can see here, this is the project ID. This is a project ID. Copy this project ID and go to the chatbots, paste here. Again, click on that project ID. You have to create a service account for this project. Go to the project, click on that project ID. It will redirect you to the console.cloud.google.com, and here you can simply there is a API session. So APIs and in the left hand side menus. Yeah, here API session, APIs and services. Click on the credentials, and you have to create a service account. Okay. Service account. Click on the create service account. Service account. Let's create the service account. What is that? So student STD finder. STD finder. So STD finder. That is the description. Click on the create and grant the two permissions. What is the two permissions we have to give? Two roles. We have to give the two roles like a dialog Dialogflow API admin, and add another another thing like a Dialogflow client. Click continue, and the third step you can skip. So click on the done. So now you can find the service account name, copy the service account name, and go to our chatbots, paste here, and go to here and click on this one, the service account which you created just now. Basically here is the service account. So click on the service accounts, it will show the service account. Click on the three dots and actions, create a key. So it will give the JSON, you can store in anywhere. So the JSON format, I'm just serving the downloads. Okay, open that JSON, download that JSON. Here you can find a private key. So after double quotes, you have to copy all the private key up to the double quotes. Okay, this key, copy this key, and go to here and your chatbots and paste here. Okay, next thing is connect. So our connecting the Dialogflow. So see here the Dialogflow. So student finder. Dialogflow is a student finder, right? Connected. What is the next step? Connect to the orchestrator. What is the how can we connect to the orchestrator? Go back to the cloud. In the cloud, it will show. And after admin, go to the admins, and in the tenants, expand this tenant. This is a orchestrator API access. Okay, so here it will show all the information like a, so what is the tenant user key, this external. Click on the user key, go to the chatbots, paste the user key here, and go to the tenants, copy everything like a account logical name, tenant name, and client ID. Default only. Click on the connect. So now both are connected. So we have to do the map. Next thing is like a mapping this one. So how can we map? So for which one? Get student details. That is a map. Click on the process for this tenant. We are mapping the where is that student finder. See here, student finder. Click on the map. That's it. So our robot is ready. So just click on the create. Launch your process, the bot, like a student finder. So okay, so copy this one. If you want to copy, you just copy this one and click on the save and close. Test the bot. This is the time to test. Okay, so basically I'm just zooming out. So the student finder, zooming out to get the proper information. So hi. So it's saying the hi. So hello, welcome to the KCG. Okay, so get the student details of 222. Okay, working on it. Let us see whether it will trigger the bot. So just see, it will in the bottom you can see the UiPath robot is triggered. Oh, awesome! See here, everything is working fine. Okay, got it. If you want to keep this name also in the below, so you can just open that studios, or this is a new line, so you have to put the new line, right? So if I just type the only the 444, so what is a 444 email? It's okay. So student ID is 444. Sorry, it's not get details of 444. I think it's not matching the training phase. So you can improve the training phase by just providing the more entities. Okay, so this is a Harish. Okay, so we created the bot so that the users or the manager in the suppose for example in our college, so many lecturers not required to contact the corresponding person, so something like so the accountant or finance department or any person to get the details. Okay, they have their own portal, so website. They can just simply ask get the details of 666 is there. I think is there. Okay, who is the 666? This is that much easy. You can create your chatbot and combine the chatbot and both the things. That's it. And if you want to contact me, so I have a suppose for I have go to the YouTube and simply type the UiPath learner. So just simply type the UiPath learner, UiPath learner. Just type the UiPath learner into the YouTube. The first channel is mine. Okay, so this is the first one, this symbol. Okay, click on the UiPath learner. Here I have a lot of videos, so I created the lot of videos. You can go through and improve your skill set in UiPath, and you have a playlist also, something like a chatbots recently, and there is a UiPath apps projects, and there is some magics also. So UiPath magics, basically, because based on the UiPath you can just do some different kind of things. Okay, all the things are there. Okay, you can go through these ones, and later my email ID is just saying that my email ID is like a my phone number is like a 970-543-5277. If you have any queries, so in